It's here in the rack room built over 80 years ago where so many different artifacts are kept, such as this computer. Perfect for books? Yes. For files, not so much. Files such as these are very difficult to keep in the room and have all been removed due to the renovation. That renovation, one of the reasons, these slits down here in the floor. Perfect for ventilation, not so much for fires. A fire could start at the bottom and rise all the way to the top, damaging all of the artifacts. It's turtles like Eddings right here that are brought in almost year-round to the South Carolina Aquarium. Now, every single tank in this hospital is filled with loggerhead sea turtles. That's why the South Carolina Aquarium is looking to expand their sea turtle hospital with a $5 million expansion project coming in 2017. When workers come out here to harvest these crops, they've got to wear long sleeves or mosquito repellent in order to keep the mosquitoes away. But lettuce like this down here, they don't need any artificial repellent. They actually change their chemical compound. It creates a bitter taste for the mosquitoes to keep them away. But that bitter taste, it can also translate to humans. That's why it's so important to harvest these crops before that change happens.
This isn't your normal hospital. Down in the basement of the South Carolina Aquarium resides some creatures more accustomed to the ocean. The Sea Turtle Hospital at the aquarium is currently home to 11 loggerhead sea turtles, and staff member Kelly Thorvalson explains that no matter the time or day, her staff is ready to help these large creatures.
We assemble our team here at the hospital, and often that's nights, weekends, and holidays. I mean, it's never Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, right?
Some turtles suffer from shark bites or bacterial diseases, but Thorvalson says that many of the sea turtles become injured from the carelessness of humans.
We get 50 to 60% human-influenced injuries and illnesses. So folks that are out boating need to just make sure they know turtles are in our waters in the warmer months and to look out for them when they're boating.
But with tanks lined up on either side of the room and not a single one empty, it is clear that the hospital is running out of space.
It's turtles like Eddings right here that are brought in almost year-round to the South Carolina Aquarium. Now, every single tank in this hospital is filled with loggerhead sea turtles. That's why the South Carolina Aquarium is looking to expand their sea turtle hospital with a $5 million expansion project coming in 2017.
The project will bring the hospital from the basement to the first floor of the aquarium, allowing visitors to see firsthand the rehab and recovery of the turtles.
And these animals need our help, and so we're increasing our ability to do so.
The $5 million needed for the project has primarily been raised through donations, with the aquarium still asking for donations on its website. While the goal is for these turtles to be rehabbed to full strength, they ultimately won't end up in the aquarium tanks. The end goal is for them to be released back into the ocean. 178 turtles have been rehabbed and released by the South Carolina Aquarium since 2000. And with this new expansion, they look to release many more. From Charleston, Thomas Gruel, Carolina News.
When something's inevitable, let's do it right now.
Around 9:30 last night, news began to break on social media that Steve Spurrier would retire as the head football coach at the University of South Carolina. But today, as Spurrier was introduced to a standing ovation at his weekly press conference, it was made clear that it was time not for his retirement, but for his resignation.
If it starts going south, starts going bad, then I need to get out. You can't keep a head coach that's done it as long as I have when it's heading in the wrong direction.
And for Spurrier, his team has been heading south for much of the past 2 seasons. Although it was not until after his team's loss to LSU this past weekend that he made an official decision, it was earlier in the year that he first called athletic director Ray Tanner and expressed his doubts.
Actually, when we were 2-2, I called him up and I said, Coach, I'm going to try to get through this season, but I sense that this is about it for me. I just sense it's it.
Spurrier said he told his players after practice last night that he was considering leaving. And one of those players, quarterback Perry Orth, says that he was just as surprised as anyone else.
And kind of crazy. It's been surreal, He's the coach that, walking on here, he gave me a shot to live out my dream. It's gonna be weird to see him go, but I wish.
As news broke last night, Many fans expressed anger and disappointment about Spurrier leaving halfway through the season, but Orth wasted no time in defending his coach.
The fans need to just keep quiet, keep to themselves. You know, go root for another team if you act that way and feel that way.
Those fans will get to see a new head coach, former offensive line coach Sean Elliott, on the sideline Saturday. The coach, known for his fiery personality, wasted no time getting to the task at hand.
We get over those distractions that are going to dictate how we play on Saturday, and I think we'll do just fine.
The end of an era, the beginning of another. Thomas Gruel, Carolina News. Many students flock to Thomas Cooper Library during the semester, but across the horseshoe, the South Caroliniana Library is celebrating 175 years. The library houses hundreds of relics, including the Civil War diary of Mary Chestnut. But as curators guided guests to the different historical artifacts, Dean of Libraries Tom McNally said it was the future, not the past, that needed to be the focus.
But even as we celebrate these 175 years, look around you. There are no books, there are no portraits. Everything has been moved from this library because it needs to be renovated.
And while phase 2 of the renovation will focus on upgrading public spaces, the first phase of the project is dedicated to properly storing and maintaining the different artifacts. It's here in the rack room built over 80 years ago where so many different artifacts are kept, such as this computer. Perfect for books? Yes. For files, not so much. Files such as these are very difficult to keep in the room and have all been removed due to the renovation. That renovation, one of the reasons, these slits down here in the floor. Perfect for ventilation, not so much for fires. A fire could start at the bottom and rise all the way to the top, damaging all of the artifacts.
I went to the president and I said to him, Harris, we need to do something about the library. He said, if anything ever happened to the South Caroliniana Library, we would both turn in our letters of resignation.
So as the staff celebrates 175 years, they also continue to pack as the historic library prepares for a major facelift. Thomas